Alright, so in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the Lifeme BTS30 Bluetooth speaker. Now this thing can be purchased on GearBest for around $80 and I will link it in the description if you want to go and check this out. I highly suggest you do so because this speaker, spoiler alert, is very, very nice. And I'd like to thank GearBest for sending this thing out to me for review to take a look at the speaker. So first of all, let's not look at the speaker. Let's start with the unboxing. We have a nice box here that has the Lifeme Bluetooth speaker on the front here, which you slide out, which reveals the actual box that the speaker is in. Once we get into the box like this, we remove the top of it and it's pretty cool. It's got some angles and things and it looks pretty nice. Really good unboxing experience for such a cheap speaker. Again, Lifeme written on the front of the box here. And then in the bottom of the box here, we have the accessories that come with the Bluetooth speaker themselves, which will consist of an owner's manual and a micro USB cable, as well as an auxiliary cable that feel of high quality. So that's what's inside of the box. So now that we've had a look inside of the box, as well as that there's normally a speaker in there, this wasn't protected by any plasticky sort of surrounds that you normally come to expect, which I found a little bit weird and different because normally there is a surround around the speaker that's just wrapped in it. However, the speaker would probably cut through it and I'll touch on that later on. First of all, the first impressions are solid as. This thing is super high quality feeling, very nice metal around the outside, feels like aluminium. Very, very nice finish to the speaker. It is a very good looking speaker as well. First things first though that I noticed when I first picked it up is the sharpness of the edges. Now I'm gonna see this as a negative because I swear if you're holding it like this and someone came and ripped it out of your hand, it would slice through your fingers. The outside of this Bluetooth speaker, these edges on the front here are ridiculously sharp. So sharp that you hold it like that and it actually hurts your hand. But along with that, the build quality is actually very, very nice. It feels very solid and feels like if you were to drop this thing from meters, it would not actually break or fail. So on the front here, we have a nice mesh grille that feels to be some sort of, it might actually be plastic on the grille. And below that, we have this nice sort of mirror looking thing that has the Lifeme logo in the bottom left. Very, very nice looking modern feeling speaker. As well as that on the front and the bottom right, we have a power LED that lights up blue. And besides that, we can access the 3D LED, which I'll touch on later on in the sound quality part. On the back of the speaker as well, we have the same sort of plasticky feeling grille, which you can hear if I just hold this up to my mic. Sort of feels a bit plasticky. The grille could probably be improved. However, I'm sure they were just cutting costs down by using this sort of plasticky feeling grille. It still looks nice and that's what matters here. On the bottom left of the back here, we have an auxiliary input as well as a micro USB cable to charge the device and a battery indicator which has a light above it that will be green when the thing's fully charged, then it will turn yellow, then it will go red. This thing also has alerts when it's at low battery, so you can tell if this thing is about to go flat or not. On the front of the device, we have what looks to be, when you get it in the right lighting, two drivers, one left and right, and a passive radiator in the middle on the front and the back, which is always good because passive radiators on the front and the back work a lot better than just having them on the back. You end up with less vibrations overall out of the speaker. On the bottom of the speaker, we have some rubber feet, which are very, very nice rubber feet, and they can also be used as a stand to tilt this speaker back on an angle when tilted back. I don't know if this was intentional at all. It doesn't feel too unstable, however it works, so if it was or wasn't supposed to work, it does, so that's pretty awesome. And overall on the right side we have the power button, which is also at a quick press activates 3D sound, which again I'll touch on later. We also have a volume up and down button, which long presses is previous and next track. As well as that, we have the Bluetooth pairing / answer call button, so if you want to make calls with this speaker, you betcha you can make calls with this speaker with no issues whatsoever. So now let's talk about the sound quality. As we can see, this thing is built so well. Does it sound as good as it feels? And the answer to that is yes. This thing is very, very nice. The sound quality overall is very good for the price. However, it's probably the polar opposite of the Hope Star speaker I just reviewed as well. This thing has very, very detailed and clear treble, very, very nice smooth mid-range, great for vocals, great for podcasts, YouTube videos, you name it. This thing does a really good job of it. However, I can find it somewhat lacking in low end on certain genres of music, say you're listening to some rap or stuff like that. the bass can be somewhat lacking, so maybe a slight EQ on your phone's EQ, bass boosting just the tiniest little bit might help this speaker out a little bit, but I didn't do that. I just ran it flat the whole time and found this thing to sound very, very nice. The only issue I have as far as sound quality is the issue of at low volumes, it's trying to level the sound out. Now there's another review on YouTube that explains this as well, and I'll give a demonstration now of the sound example of what I mean.
The silent parts are simply...
I wasn't going to recreate that sound myself, but as you can tell, at low volume there's some sort of like hiccuping noise that, you know, you just have at low volume and you can hear the sound fluctuating between low and high volumes. It's trying to level out the input, but sometimes at low volumes you just don't need that, especially when you're listening to jazz. If you get a nice quiet section in the song, it'll try and boost it up, then there'll be a kick or something like that and it'll try and lower it back down too quickly, and it just overcompensates for things sometimes. But that's really the only negative as far as sound quality goes. The bass is very tight and accurate, can be somewhat lacking, but still bass is very, very nice. The treble and mids, as I said before, very clear and very nice sounding, and you'll hear that in the sound demo at the end of this video. Now let's quickly talk about the 3D mode as well. A quick press of the power button will activate 3D mode, and the thing that does is sort of just opens it up a little bit. It makes it feel like it has a much wider sound stage than it actually does, and I think it boosts treble a slightest bit. The majority of the time I run it without 3D on, because I purely do like to listen to speakers at their raw settings. I don't like to boost treble, boost bass, all that sort of things. I just like to keep things flat and how it was intended to sound from the factory, which I understand the 3D thing is supposed to sound like that from factory, but I'd rather just listen to the natural response of this speaker. But anyway, the final thing I can really talk about is the sounds. Now, again, with the typical trend I'm finding with these Bluetooth speakers, the on-off sounds aren't the best. This thing has some very generic sounding on-off tones. I'll turn this thing on so you can hear what I'm saying, or you can hear there, that's the on-off slash, you know, connecting tones. I'll turn it off now. Now the thing that I found with this one, is besides being very generic tones that we all have heard 100 times on other Bluetooth speakers, this actually sounds like they've been recorded. This is going to sound really bad, but in a factory somewhere where someone sat there with a microphone, some sort of webcam microphone, held a Bluetooth speaker up, turned it on, recorded the sound and put that into this. You can actually hear in the background of the tones that it sounds like there's people talking, and I'll give you another example now, so have a quick listen to this. It sounds like you can hear things happening in the background when the audio was recorded for those tones. So not 100% sure what was happening there. So there it is, the Lifeme BTS30 Bluetooth speaker. This thing sounds absolutely great and I'd highly suggest it for the price. If you guys want to see me do more review videos like this, please let me know in the comment section down below. I sort of budget things that you guys can easily get your hands on because they are not too expensive. So if I was comparing this to the Hopestar speaker, I'd say go this if you want treble and nice sounding speaker. If you want a sort of muffled but really bass heavy louder speaker, go for the Hopestar. But anyway, there we go. Now let's just quickly jump over to do a sound demo of this speaker so you guys can hear what the thing sounds like, and then I will conclude the video.
No, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on.
So there it is, the sound demo of the Lifeme Bluetooth speaker, and as you can tell, this thing sounds absolutely awesome. And again, highly suggest this thing if you are going to be using it for jazz or something like that and you just really want a nice sounding Bluetooth speaker. This thing sounds absolutely awesome and I'd really recommend it for that. But anyway, again, thank you to GearBest for sending this thing out to me for review. That has not affected my review in any way at all. I was completely giving an unbiased opinion on this speaker. So there it is, my review of it. If you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure you chuck a like on it. If you want to see more review videos like this style, let me know in the comment section down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.